Welcome to Talk to Me. I'm Esther Mills. Our guest is author Melissa Pettignano, and she has written her first book, Suzanne Lantana, and the book is about positive life lessons and coping skills for teens and preteens. Welcome, Melissa.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure.
And a lot of times I start off my interviews by asking if you began your career in writing, but you're only 21, so that's obviously the answer, right?
Well, I started writing
as a child.
Yes, exactly. I started writing as a child as well as doing music. So, the musical aspect and the literary field has been very much in my blood since I've been a baby. So that's where it all started, very young.
And when did you get noticed, or your writing pick up, or when did you realize that it was something that you really enjoyed doing?
When I was in elementary school and I started writing, I really enjoyed it. And, my teacher, Miss Ty, God rest her soul, she took a notice to my writing, and she said, you know what, you have something here. And I told her, I know I do, I believe I do as well. And I said to her, I really, really want to pursue this. And she told me, well, if you ever need me, I'm here. And she was very instrumental all the way through in helping me with this book.
So how did you come up with your stories, and why did you have a concern? This book is about positive life lessons for teens and preteens. What made you, or what created the concern for you?
Well, creating the concern for me was the fact that I went through a lot of situations growing up, and I saw a lot of things happening, going on around me, and I didn't like it, and I didn't want other children going through the same situations, so I wanted to help them as best as I could.
And did you find that you yourself were going through these lessons successfully?
Yes, I do. I mean, everything that I do, I leave it in the hands of the Lord. I'm very, much with my faith, and my family's very, supportive and very strong in my life. So with the two, I'm very happy and very contented. Of course, every family has their moments, but together we work very well, and I thank God every day for that, to have them as my backbone.
And were you noticing around you teens or friends that weren't handling life very well? Did you notice that also?
Yes, I did. And a lot of them, didn't want to take my advice on certain situations. And I understand that because they have to grow and they have to learn through it as well. But they, make a joke. They call me the mother because I always would be on top of them, making sure that everything would be all right with them. And they didn't want to listen sometimes, but some did. But the ones who didn't came to me years later and would sit down with me and wanted to talk to me, and they apologized for a lot of different things that they had done or said. And a lot of them have made a better turnabout for themselves.
Oh, very nice. Suzanne Lantana, which is the name of your first book, and you are doing a series.
Yes.
Is that you?
That is me, yes. 50% of it's me, 50% isn't. That's why the book is fiction and nonfiction. There's a lot of things in it that come from things that I've seen and that I've witnessed, and, other friends of mine have gone through, so it's a combination of everything.
So it's a conglomerate of your own life issues or situations, as well as possible friends.
Exactly.
Situations.
Exactly.
And you've just kind of combined that to create this character.
Yes, and
her story.
Exactly. And a lot of situations that I went through, they were very tough. Some people may not consider it tough, but it was. And there were certain issues that weren't as big either. But they come in all sorts of levels, and, I feel that children need to learn how to cope with them the right way, instead of hurting people.
So that's a tough topic, or a tough issue to take on at such a young age, for only being 21.
I know. But I do it. I don't mind doing it. I do.
And you were homeschooled. You mentioned to me that you were homeschooled at one point.
Yes. I went to high school up until 10th grade. And then after I graduated 10th grade, I said to my parents, it's time to really go full with all my careers. And we discussed it, and we found the best school, which was Morningstar Academy, which is a homeschooling system. And I started from there, and while being homeschooled is when I started doing more of the book, more of my music, which I had already been doing. I actually finished up on the book.
So was regular school taking up too much time for you?
Yeah, to be honest, yeah. My mind was more focused on getting my music and doing my book. I was more focused on that. I believe in people going for their education, and I say go for your education to the fullest. I believe in that. I wanted to get my education. I graduated, and I believe in that. So, but being homeschooled, for me, it was better because I got to do what I wanted to do. I got signed with Industry Modeling and Talent Studios. I was modeling, and then I was, I got a part in Spider-Man 3 in the movie as an extra, and then I continued with the book, did the music, and it just took off from there.
So it sounds like you were a precocious child.
Yeah.
You're kind of ahead of the curve.
Yes, yes. I knew what I wanted to be at a very young age. A lot of kids didn't understand that. They would just look at me and say, "Oh, you're not going to make it. You're not going to do a book. You're not going to make it in music." And I said, "Oh, yes, I am. Watch me." And I am, and I did. And I thank God every day for that because He's the one who helps me. I don't listen to the negative comments or, the haters out there. I pray for their souls, though, and I hope that they can do better for the world and change.
And do you feel that you've had a lot of that? Have you felt you've had a lot of obstacles in trying to put this together?
I had a lot of obstacles when it came to friends and certain things because they would want to see me, but then there were certain times that I'd be doing something and I wasn't able to really be there.
And they didn't understand.
And they didn't understand why. And it's not that I don't care for them or that I didn't care for them because I do wholeheartedly. It's just that, what the type of businesses that they have to understand that you're not going to be around constantly to the extent that, another friend would be every single day. So it's difficult. You got to learn how to balance, and I'm learning that, and I have.
And you're learning that at a very young age.
Yeah.
And